Today we're going to start our intro to the Great Depression, seeing what caused it and how maybe we can get out of it. Our learning objective today is that we're going to be learning about the stock market crash of 1929 and how it led to a time period called the Great Depression. So this is our new era in Texas history. We're leaving the age of oil and moving into the Great Depression. So what is a stock market? A stock is a little piece of a company called a share that people can buy, and then they become a part owner in the company. Companies sell their stocks to get money for employees, new products, and ideas. So we have all these companies like you see to the right, like Walt Disney, Coca-Cola, Hershey, Twitter, Google. They all have shares that they can sell to get more money. What the stock market is, it's a place where different stocks are bought, sold, and traded. So really look at the word market. It's kind of just like a grocery store. You can go in and you can buy different things, okay? People want to buy stocks at a low price and sell them at a higher price. Because if you buy low and sell high, you're able to get more money. So when the great stock market crash occurred, this happens on October 29th, 1929, and it's called Black Tuesday. October 29th is also my birthday, so it's easy to remember. This is when the worst stock market crash in history happened. We see the economy go downward and start falling. People are losing jobs, businesses aren't making enough money, people are now in poverty. And remember, poverty just means that people are very poor. And then this leads us to the era called the Great Depression. If you notice, the little boy to the right is holding a sign, "Why can't you give my dad a job?" And the answer to this is because there weren't jobs. Especially if you were a factory worker, you were hit harder than most people. When we look at this image, we see people standing around. Most likely they're standing around waiting for a job. Many people were out of work at this time. The Great Depression lasts about 10 years from 1929 to 1939. 13 to 15 million Americans did not have jobs, and half of the country's banks had failed because the banks had lost all their money, so they could no longer stay open. The government thought it would work itself out, but it didn't. So the government did not try to help as soon as they could have. When we look at this image, this is an effect of the Great Depression. We see that these people are no longer living in a home. They're mostly living in a shack that they probably built themselves. Look at their clothing. Think if you think those children are probably in school right now. We see a potential crisis happening at the social level of society. When we look at our boom and bust cycle for the Great Depression, we had a boom, which means the economy was doing really well, and we were producing goods for World War I, which provided jobs and keeps the economy up. Then we went into a recession. Farmers were producing too much, and they were losing a lot. The stock market crashes, businesses close, Texans lose their job. We slowly start going up through the recovery into a boom, because World War II increases the demand for agricultural products, farmers start producing more, and the economy is increasing. The president at the time, Franklin D. Roosevelt, he tries to create this program called the New Deal. He believed that the government needed to do something to help people get out of the Great Depression. He comes up with this plan called the New Deal, which tried to make different programs to help the economy and social reform. He wanted to bring new jobs into the economy, which would be economic. He wanted to help the poor, which would be social. And they wanted to prevent depression from happening again, which could be political because he's trying to implement laws that would help us to not have this occur again. But did it work? Not really. Unemployment rate, which is the percentage of people that are able to work but can't find a job, it actually never went below 14%. And at its highest point was at 25%. That means for every 4 people, 1 of them could not find a job even if they wanted to. Today, we see the unemployment rate is about at 3.7%. This did not end the Great Depression, but it did give people hope that it would get better.